Hello and welcome to the third edition of Mill Rd News Roundup. The sun shone down on June's Mill Road pop-up feast at Gwyder Street car park. As well as great food and drink, Errol Griffiths was there from Romsey Action. She told us a bit about what the local organisation does.
Romsey Action is a residents' association for the Romsey ward in Cambridge. We fundraise at community events by selling surprise books. Here's a book with a clue and an incredible bargain price. And this way we manage to finance our activities, which are being involved with development plans, taking part in consultations, working with Mill Road Bridges, with Romsey Mill, with the Romsey Art Festival, all our local traders, councillors, council staff, with the aim of making Romsey an even nicer place to live.
Over 100,000 steps were made to raise an extra £155 for the Children's Society charity shop, which will be 1 year old on the 2nd of July. St Barnabas Church on Mill Road hosted the second Pint of Science Festivals, Creative Reactions exhibition on May the 26th. Artists are paired up with scientists who give talks on various subjects in designated Cambridge pubs. A work of art is created as a reaction to the subjects spoken about, and all works were on show with a chance to chat to some of the artists and scientists involved. With all the building that's going on in Cambridge and the extra impermeable surfacing, coupled with the extreme weather we are witnessing, there will be greater risk of local flooding. Rain gardens have been shown to lessen this effect, and there has been a downspout rain garden installed at the Romsey Mill Centre as a pilot project to show how these household level rain gardens look and function. Details on the website below. Did you know that Mill Road has its very own official photographer this year? We met up with Terry Ward and asked him what his project was about.
I'll start off with saying my name's Terry Ward. I'm a published author and photographer. I've been coming to Mill Road for about 20-25 years, and I've seen it change massively, especially in the last 5 years. So I thought it would be nice to try and capture the heart and soul of this place. Sometimes when you come to places afresh, you can almost look at it with different eyes. I don't live here, I don't really socialise here, so I'm looking at the at Mill Road as independently as I can. So yeah, as I was saying, the whole project is basically getting a snapshot of the traders and the things they sell, and detailing is extremely important. For example, with this shot I'm doing now, I'm trying to get as much information, i.e. the bike shed logo and the prices, etc., to get an interesting and balanced picture. I like close-up detailed shots because I'm trying to actually what they call document the now. And when I mean document the now, I mean take pictures of things that are representative of the time we live in. For example, this little bike. As we become more affluent, the little bike will become more affordable and probably become a fashion accessory of some type. It will come in fashion, it will go out of fashion. There'll be different types, there'll be different models. The thing is with Mill Road, that's ever so busy, and you can just get a picture come to you almost straight away. Could be somebody wandering past, could be reflections in the window. If anybody can help me, or they're interested in any way to contribute to this Mill Road project, go to www.twardpw.co.uk or contact me on email, which is on the website.
There is a public consultation now on, lasting until Friday the 15th of July, regarding the proposed housing development of the Mill Road depot site next to the bridge. And look out for our up-and-coming interview with Roy Stamp, who has been campaigning with many of the residents of Romsey Terrace for over 2 years now about Robinson College's proposed garden-grabbing plans to build a row of houses at the back of a row of houses that they already own. Ronan McLister is the new manager of the Royal Standard Public House. Here he is telling us about his plans for what the Royal Standard has to offer.
Well, here we are at the Royal Standard in Mill Road. We're very much a Belgian-themed pub. Our USP is really we're going to sell exclusively Belgian beers. We've got a very eclectic 40-plus selection of gins. Our new menu will be very much along a Belgian theme, serving things like croque madame, croque monsieur, croque mademoiselle. We'll be doing a cassoulet and all things Belgian really, with endive on the menu. Our plan is not to really do what everybody else is doing up and down Mill Road, but to bring a more international look to another pub on Mill Road that's just recently reopened. It's reopened with the same name, the Royal Standard, but we're very much a Belgian cafe pub, and that's what we're intending to carry on with. So if you're looking for something different in Mill Road that's not Sky Sports, not live music, just good company, good food and a good atmosphere, the Royal Standard should be perfect for you.
The Autocaf business has been sold but will be carrying on with new ownership and a new name, so look out for that. Just days now until the referendum. Mill Road saw the Cambridge for Europe group campaigning outside the Black Cat Cafe, and they jointly hosted an event at Anglia Ruskin with Friends of the Earth.
I think this is a moment of grave peril, actually, for our country and for the world. It's the younger people who are more likely to vote to stay in and less likely to vote. This is a serious problem. The other serious problem we have, I think, is how a lot of people who are not really engaged with this discussion will just drift along, and if the polls say 52 stay in and 48 say go out, they may not bother to vote at all. And given that the people who want to leave are angry and very much motivated to want to push this, we may find that a combination of demographics and willingness to vote means that we go out by accident. And this would be a disaster.
And today, the European Union is a place of hope in the world. It's a place which does lead the world in so many ways. I don't want to live in a world in which my country says the world has nothing to do with me because I'm British and therefore I'm different and I'm not going to be associated with you. Or worse still, I'll be associated with you when it fits, when it suits,
yes,
but I won't go through the fire with you. That's not the kind of Britain I want. I also don't think it's Britain. We've never been like that. That's a new kind of Britain. It's an offshore island that doesn't believe it has a vocation in the world. I'm not that kind of Britain. My children aren't those kind of Brits. And I don't think my grandchildren will be. So don't let us be forced into being what Britain has never been, an offshore island with no interest in the world.
Brexit campaigners were unable to come to Mill Road, but we did speak to student campaigner Charles in the Market Square.
I mean, absolutely right, climate change is a massive global problem that we face. The way I would talk about that would be that we don't have to do those sorts of actions through supranational bodies. It's perfectly possible to do an intergovernmental arrangement. You just look at the fact that the Paris Climate Accords, this was a big agreement between lots of countries. It wasn't just the EU. We don't need to have top-down rules to force countries to think of this as a big problem. And when you actually look at some of the things like, for instance, the UK has been trying to race ahead in terms of reduce their climate emissions, countries like Germany and France have said, well, because the UK is doing more, well, then we need to do less. That seems to me like a counterproductive thing. And when you consider the EU as a bloc, as a nation, then yeah, that's damaging for the fight against climate change. Well, obviously, the UK is a massive net contributor to the EU budget, so we could in a post-EU Britain, put in just as much into science funding as we do at the moment. They also tend to talk about collaborations with being very important across Europe. That's true. Places like the European Space Agency, CERN, all manner of other organisations, they're legally distinct from the EU. So, and even some of them mandate that non-EU members have to be members of their boards. So it's not true to say that if we left the European Union, we'd stop collaborating across Europe with all manner of scientific endeavours. In fact, we'd be liberated to cooperate more on a global level. Well, the European Union guarantee a lot of these things, but in many areas, Britain provides on a national level greater protections. Things like the Equal Pay Act, paid holidays were brought in under Chamberlain. Lots of these things were done before we were members of the European Union. And after we were members of the European Union, a lot of these things were done by Labour governments, by trade unions, forcing the government's hand in spite of the European Union. So we don't in Britain need the EU to guarantee these things. Our voters and our democratic accountability guarantees these things.
We've got quite a few artists around Mill Road taking part in this year's Open Studios. Artists and craftspeople will be exhibiting and opening up their studios to the public for the first 4 weekends of July. But not all will be open all 4 weekends, so be sure to check details on the Cambridge Open Studios website or look out for the long yellow booklets which give full details. And of course, don't forget the Midsummer event on Saturday the 2nd of July from 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock. This is the second year for this event, and the idea is to build it year on year like the Winter Fair. So please come along and enjoy what promises to be a great evening of entertainment, arts and crafts, live music and children's areas. If you have any news that you think the Mill Road community would like to know about, then please get in touch with us. There are direct links to all the websites referred to in this news roundup below this video window. I'm Blayney and this is Mill Road TV.